Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist. Today is Wednesday, June the 6th, 2018. Jumping right into the meat of things. All right, so the short position in the Dow futures was a little premature. Got stopped out on that one. However, you can see that the market is trying to come back up and break back out to test the old highs. But wait, can't jump too soon. Yes, today was a nice little rally, but overall, nothing has changed. This is where we are now. All right, so you've broken out of this prior trading range. All you did was break out from this bar here. You still need to clear this old resistance area from here on the close by Friday. And then that'll put you back into this range here where these pointers are. All right, and then of course, you got to get over this resistance here. And then you got to get over this one here. And then you can test the old resistance of 26,684. All right, so we are quite a ways away from the old highs. All the market did was break out of the range. Funny thing about markets with ranges, etc., they tend to go in and out. So let me show you a little bit of drawing here, just for example's sake. All right, so you got this here. All right, so you broke out of this pattern here. So now you have yourself a new pattern that's going to look a little something like this. If I were to draw it, I would say it looks like this. It's going to come up here like this. All right. Now, what ends up happening is when you get up here like this and you test these like this, like so, what ends up happening is you find yourself in a new thing. It's hard to draw with this, but I do the best I can. All right, so you have a fork in the road. Basically, you have a fork. The fork doesn't go straight up. This line does because it's cross intersected. And then this one actually levels out with the Kumo cloud. So after all of this, what typically happens is the market comes back down again. And then it's going to decide if it can hold the support or not. And then you come down and you crash below the Kumo cloud. So the pattern that I showed you the other day was a little premature because I didn't add any extension to it. I just added a 3-bar, going 3 bars out. This is the reverse of that. So it did the opposite. So it broke out, but can it hold is the question. That's the big question mark on the stock indexes. It should also be noted that the NASDAQ and the Russell did not rally or break out as hard as the Dow did. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's pull up the NASDAQ first. Take this away. All right, here's your NASDAQ 100. Now the NASDAQ 100 was already out, so all it did was hit a new contract high. But if you see, the range of the bar is not as large as the one on the Dow. This is just little teeny boxes, just little breakouts. All right, nothing really big, just little breakouts. And the NASDAQ's been kind of moving like that anyway for a while. All right, on the daily, just not the wide range like you saw back here on the way down, but the way up, it's always been little boxes. Now this one here was a lot more breadth to it. This one here, very small, it's a slow grind. And that's what's happening here again. All right, so this one is on the daily chart kind of locked in. But the way things have gone with the past historical volatility, anything goes. But it is what it is. Right now, everything is bullish. It's above the Kumo cloud on the daily chart. So what can you say? All right, when the daily and the weekly are the same, like you have here in the NASDAQ, there's nothing I can do about it. That's why I didn't try to short the NASDAQ. But that Dow, there's something been strange movement with the price action on the Dow. Russell is straight up too. All right, so that's your weekly chart. And then here's your daily chart. Everything's bullish. Now go back to the Dow real quick. All right, on the Dow, okay, your trend lines are barely out of the Kumo cloud on the daily. And on the weekly, here's what the weekly looks like. All right, the weekly is above the Kumo cloud, but you're in a downtrend channel. It's just not moving the same way as the other indices. That's why I chose to take the short on the Dow. So what this means on the flip side is if the Dow is going to wake up and follow suit, that means that the NASDAQ and the Russell will probably slow down a little bit and allow the Dow some time to catch up. Once the Dow does break out on the weekly chart, then the rest of the indices will just continue to trend upward. So that's how that works. But we'll keep our eye on everything to see how strong of a breakout this is. If it's a weak one, if it's just a short squeeze, then we have some interesting things to talk about. But for right now, the Dow is the weaker cousin. The NASDAQ and the Russell are very strong, very, very strong. I don't mention the S&P because if you've seen the Dow, you've seen the S&P. The S&P is nothing but a glorified version of the Dow, as you can see. Same chart, no difference. All right. Taking a look at gold. Gold looked interesting this last 24 hours, as you can see. It's trying to do a little something. It's still weak overall on the weekly. Pull up the daily. All right. It's trying to break out, but it's weak. The ranges are weak too. But it's trying to come alive and do a little something. I noticed the same thing in silver too. Silver's trying to get topside the Kumo cloud. See this? It's trying to break out too. Remember the pattern I showed you? This pattern needs to take place topside the Kumo cloud. If it does, then you got a breakout like you have in the NASDAQ and the Russell. All right, so this is what this is. So we're just looking to see what's going to happen with the markets. There's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of macroeconomic data, blah, blah, blah. But the price is what matters. We'll see where the markets go. The markets will go where the markets will go, regardless of any news out there. So with that said, postwavetrading.com. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Peace.